Look at these blue albums. Which of them is the best? Well, that's the entire point of this video. I'm gonna be choosing what I consider to be the best album for every color. I'm just keeping it to red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, white, and black to keep it clean. And just remember that this is all my personal opinion. And if you enjoy the video, I'd appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe. Now, let's get on with the video. The best red album is... In the Court of the Crimson King by King Crimson is a 43-minute experimental rock album released all the way back in 1969. The album only contains 5 tracks, ranging from 6 to 12 minutes each, all of them playing an important role in the progression of the album. Although the intro track, 21st Century Schizoid Man, is the most popular and influential, I think the best song is... This is the album's outro, and the song discusses corrupt leaders and how they control society. I adore that medieval, fantasy-like sound of the track, making it feel almost magical, and the song never slows down, despite being over 10 minutes long. Definitely a 10 out of 10 song. And I might as well discuss another track, which is... I've seen this track receive a lot of hate. Essentially, it's split into 2 parts, the first part lasting only a few minutes, sounding very similar to the rest of the album. However, the second part is the reason why people have an issue with this song. Around 10 minutes of the entire song is just improvised instrumentals, and it really doesn't have a rhythm to it. It's essentially just random instruments and sounds being played at random times for 10 minutes straight. I can see why people hate it, but personally, I find it very atmospheric. I love the loose, unplanned sound that it brings. It's an 8 out of 10 song for me. Overall, In the Court of the Crimson King is a very interesting, influential album. Influence aside though, I really do enjoy what it has to offer. It's unique, it's special, it's fantastic. I give it a 97 out of 100, and it's the best album with a red cover. The best orange album is... You can feel it all over people go. Yep, of course. Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder, one of the greatest albums of all time, so of course it's the best for orange. It was released in 1976, and it's a jazzy, groovy, soulful pop album, and it is a bit of a long listen. There's 21 songs, and it's an hour and 45 minutes long, so if it's your first time going into this, I may recommend listening to each disc of the album separately. Yes, this album is split into 2 discs that are around 50 minutes each. And yeah, my favorite song on here is actually one of my favorite songs ever made, which is... Oh my god, a beautiful, funky song about remembering the fun times you had as a kid. It's kinda a mix of happy and sad. Happy in the sense that you're remembering the good times, but it could be sad thinking that those times will never return. Truly a masterpiece of a song, most definitely a 10 out of 10. And the additional song I wanted to discuss is... Okay, let me just clarify, the full title is actually this, but I am not gonna try to say that. First off, I don't know how, and second off, if I try to say that first word, yeah, not a good idea. Anyway though, this song is detailing how much music is about love, but what sets it apart is that he sings in 3 different languages: English, Spanish, and even Zulu. This is not only genius, but he manages to sing so beautifully in all three of them. Truly a breathtaking track, another 10 out of 10. And overall, Songs in the Key of Life is a top 10, probably top 5 album of all time. The blend of pop, soul, jazz, funk, gospel, and even more is just unbelievably talented and enjoyable. It's an album that'll always put you in a good mood. I give it a 100 out of 100, and it's of course the best album with an orange cover. The best Yellow album is... On the count of 3, everybody run back to your fantasy. Be by Common is a rap album released in 2005. It was primarily produced by Kanye, with help on a few tracks from Jay Dilla. It has that chipmunk soul sound that we all know and love from early Kanye, but with Common's brilliant writing and rapping. The album is full of hits, but also these more introspective, thought-provoking songs too. And for the best song, it's just gotta be... The present is a gift, and I just wanna be the greatest intro in rap history, in my opinion. The song has a great bass line, fantastic synths, and beautiful violins. It's just so good! That is completely on me. I lost control. I'm sorry. It's about how chaotic and difficult life has been for Common, yet he still just wants to be. And by be, he means living his life happily. One of my favorite rap songs ever, so clearly a 10 out of 10. And the other track I wanted to mention is... I am so glad that Common decided to include the live version of this song on the album. He and Kanye performed it at the Dave Chappelle Show back in 2004, and this version of the track just brings so much more energy. You can hear the audience cheering and really feel that live energy of the song, making it almost feel like you're really there watching them perform it up on the stage. A near perfect song. I'd give this one a 9 out of 10. Yeah, overall, B is one of the most underappreciated rap albums of all time. It incorporates Kanye's flawless sampling and production style, paired with Common's poetic, important lyrics and messaging, creating a near flawless rap album from start to finish. I give this one a 97 out of 100, and it's the best album with a yellow cover. The best Green album is... I mean, come on, if y'all know me, you would have known this was coming. What's Going On by Marvin Gaye is an R&B soul album released in 1971, and it is also what I consider to be the greatest album of all time. He preaches such important messages of love and acceptance over some of the most gorgeous sounding instrumentals ever made. The meaning behind this one is just timeless, being relevant as ever today. And for the best song, I'm definitely going with... Not only is this my favorite intro in music history, but it's also just my favorite song of all time. The way Marvin so peacefully encourages us to love each other is wonderful, to say the least. One line in particular really sticks out to me, which is, "For only love can conquer hate." This is my favorite line in any song. It's so simple, yet so effective. And I'm not even gonna go into how beautiful the song sounds, because I would be here all day if I did. 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10, whatever, infinite out of 10. And I also wanted to talk about... What's happening, brother? Yeah. This one almost feels like a continuation of What's Going On, and I mean, it's the track right after it, so it makes sense. But yeah, he focuses more on war in this song, telling a story of a soldier returning back to his home after fighting, and his whole life is messed up, showing how damaging war is, and how it's never the right answer. Matter of fact, the song is actually based on Marvin Gaye's real brother, Frankie, who spent 3 years in the Vietnam War. So of course, this is another 10 out of 10 song. Overall, What's Going On is a timeless classic that I don't see becoming irrelevant anytime soon. He really was ahead of his time. I give this one a 100 out of 100, and it's the best album with a green cover. The best Blue album is...
Piece of you.
Blue by Joni Mitchell is a folk album released back in 1971, and it's easily one of the most vulnerable and emotional albums I've ever heard. Throughout the album, she sings over a piano, a guitar, and even a dulcimer. I didn't know what the fuck that was, but it's an instrument. I found that out. Yeah, it's about 36 minutes long and only has 10 tracks, so it's very easy to get through. And the best song on here, in my opinion, is... This one has such a bittersweet feeling to it. It talks about where she used to live and how enjoyable and nice it was. However, she always felt out of place. So it's a beautiful mix of emotions. When I listen to it, it can make me feel carefree and happy, like I rule the world. But at the same time, it can make me almost question my own life, having the ability to break me down and make me want to cry. An easy 10 out of 10 song. And I just feel like I have to talk about... This is what many consider to be the best on the album, and I can clearly see why. It's a heartbreaking story about when she dealt with a rough breakup around Christmas time, so all of the traditionally happy parts of the holiday season just made her sadness even heavier. It's really fun how the piano borrows the part from Jingle Bells. It's just so iconic and amazing, perfectly fitting the theme of the song. For sure, a 10 out of 10. And overall, Blue is an album that almost feels too personal to listen to, like it's the part of Joni Mitchell's life that wasn't meant to be heard. It has some of the best songwriting I've ever heard and unmatched emotional power. I give it a 100 out of 100, and it's the best album with a blue cover. Come on, the best purple album is... It's been way too long since I've mentioned this album. Atrocity Exhibition by Danny Brown is an experimental rap album released in 2016. It's one of the wildest, most chaotic albums I've ever heard. It's fucking psychotic, to say the least. Yeah, it describes in depth the descent into madness that Danny Brown faces due to drug and alcohol abuse. The production is off the wall with loud distortion, heavy instrumentation, and Danny's high-pitched, almost maniac-sounding voice. And for the best song, what are we doing here? Of course it's... I'm standing on business that this is the #1 rap song of all time. Jot that down, put that one in your notes, screenshot it. Yeah, it really captures the energy of the entire album into just one track. The blaring horns, loud drums, and insanely fast verses from Danny Brown just makes it feel like a panic attack if it were a song. He details his addiction and how it's essentially ruined his life, making him feel almost impossible to recover. Of course, it's a 10 out of 10. And I really wanted to talk about... Okay, this is the most popular song on the album, and it contains 3 features, so I figured I'd rank all the verses from all the artists. 4th place, I'll go with Ab-Soul. There's really nothing wrong with this one, I just like the others more. 3rd place is actually Danny's verse. I love his chaotic energy, like always, but I still think the other 2 outdid him. 2nd is going to Kendrick. I love his chorus, and he does great on his own verse, using unusual and unique flows. And the best is definitely Earl Sweatshirt. His verse feels like some grand speech at the end of the song, wrapping it up in a cinematic and flawless way. How would y'all rank the features on this song? And of course, it's a 10 out of 10. So overall, Atrocity Exhibition is the downward spiral of a man's mental health put into an album. It's gruesome, it's uncomfortable, but it's also beautiful. I give it a 100 out of 100, and it's the best album with a purple cover. The best white album is... Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd is a progressive rock album released in 1975. Despite the fact that it's literally 50 years old, all 5 tracks still feel as powerful and as important as always. You know what? F this. I've talked about this one enough on my channel. Y'all know the album already. I don't really feel like talking about it again. So instead of doing this part normally, I'm gonna play 3 audio clips of 3 random songs for only 2 seconds each, and y'all gotta try to guess the songs. Alright, here's the first one. You ready? Alright, that was easy. I mean, if you know the song, you'll get it. That's not too bad. Alright, so second one, here you go, here you go. Not too bad, right? Not too bad. Alright, y'all got this, y'all got this. And for the third one, come on. Come on, I really hope y'all know this one. It's gotta be one of the most beautiful songs ever created, and it's actually relevant to this part of the video. It's whatever though, comment down below which ones you know, impress me please. And overall, Wish You Were Here goes down as one of the greatest albums of all time. Not only did it tremendously influence music as we know it, but it still sounds incredibly fantastic to this day. Definitely a 100 out of 100, and the best album with a white cover. The best black album is... Does this album really have a black cover? I have no idea. It probably shouldn't count, but I really want to talk about it. So if it's cheating to include it, I'm cheating. Anyway, Kind of Blue by Miles Davis is a jazz album that came out way back in 1959. It's not necessarily the most unique or experimental album ever. I've definitely heard more wild sounds when it comes to jazz, but that's exactly what I like about it. It's just so perfectly smooth and clean. It only has 5 songs and it's about 45 minutes long, and I'm telling you, there is literally no flaw that I can find with this album. The best song on here has gotta be... Oh my god, you hear that? I feel like when someone pictures what jazz sounds like in their head, this is it. It's the perfect example of smooth jazz. It's not complicated, it's not crazy, it's just enjoyable. I adore the simplicity of this song, being able to convey such a flawless sound without overdoing any of it. It's honestly so impressive to me, definitely a 10 out of 10, and I feel like it wouldn't be fair if I didn't at least mention the most popular song on the album, and also just Miles Davis's most iconic song in general, and I can clearly see why. It's a slower and sadder song, perfectly capturing that feeling of a rainy day. It's just hauntingly beautiful. Another 10 out of 10. Yeah, overall, Kind of Blue feels like premium music. It's so effortlessly elegant and fancy, aging like the finest wine. It's my favorite jazz album of all time. A 100 out of 100, and I don't care if it counts or not, but it's the best album with a black cover. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. Comment down below which album in this video is the best, so I know you made it to the end. Also, leave your favorite album for each color. I'll read and respond to every single comment, and have an amazing day.